Are we on?
I don't know, are you? Yeah, we're
working.
Here in my garage.
With my books.
With my books.
I'm here with my...
Okay, so we're drinking to...
Soda water.
Yeah, no, they're not soda waters.
Beer.
Beer, the beer out here.
Alcohol, yeah.
Okay, so this is vlog number 1 for Kontakt Digital.
Agency vlog.
Agency vlog number 1. So you guys haven't met Rich yet. Rich is the narrator of this video.
I'm the narrator behind the camera. Kind of frumpy right now. It's Frump City population.
Nobody's gonna hear you.
No one's hear me?
You're gonna project.
All right. Yeah, so I guess the other guy at Kontakt, and I also co-own Garrison Bespoke Vancouver, which is a custom suiting business. That's pretty much it. We met through Garrison.
Yeah, he hard closed me at an event, but not really. Yeah, they got a pretty dope custom clothing company here in Vancouver. And yeah, kind of the backstory. I know a lot of people that are on the channel, again, are either through music or through the business world, and I've been unbelievably quiet over the last year and a bit, but I have been working. I'm alive, barely, but I'm here. But yeah, I met Rich, about 8 months ago. We decided to kind of start looking at the digital marketing world together. Actually, this is a good idea. Rich, do you want to maybe just your kind of backstory leading up to working with me in the agency? Because I think a lot of people on the channel were in did the school thing, did the corporate job thing, and then decided to be entrepreneurs. And I think it'd be actually super valuable for you to just kind of give that Coles Notes.
A quick version?
Just a quick version, so kind of like how we are here now, yeah.
Okay, kind of starting from school. Yeah, I guess so I graduated, with a degree in psychology, and just kind of moseyed my way up the ranks in the bank. I was working as a bank teller at the time in school, and when I graduated, they promoted me, so I got my own office and just started climbing the ranks. I think about 2 years ago. So after about 4 or 5 years of banking, I felt like I learned everything I wanted to learn, and I always had that craving of just taking control of my own time, and it was kind of threatening to me because it was like I knew exactly what my life would be like. I would just look at the cubicle next to me. It's like oh, I wonder what life has in store for me. It's like, oh yes,
the next 40 years.
Cubicle number 2, right?
Yeah.
It's like you know exactly what this guy's making, what his life's like. So I didn't want that, and I left pretty much cold turkey. I gave them about, I think, 6 months notice, a lot of notice to transition the portfolio, and again, really grateful for everything that I've learned there. At the same time, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I just left cold turkey, kind of went to sort of a free fall. Actually had a lot of anxiety and depression for 2 months right after. Just I'm waking up tired, not knowing what I wanted to do, and just needing a lot of power naps during the day. It's like, oh yeah, I don't know what I need to do. Let's play some video games. No, I'm tired. I should probably take a nap, another nap. Maybe I should work out, right? And just being in that kind of almost paralyzing cycle for essentially what is 2 months. And at the time, my now business partner, had his own custom suiting business, got a contract from essentially Garrison Bespoke from Toronto, and we started up this thing, custom suiting. Style has been sort of a passion of mine since I've been pretty young. Yeah. Kind of ran from there.
And then why, kind of leading the question, I guess, the digital marketing side. So, again, for the people on the channel, you guys know I've been an internet marketer for about 8 years now. And after my split, I realized I needed somebody else to kind of help me with the operation side. There's a book called Rocket Fuel, if you guys haven't read it, recommend it. Maybe I'll put it in the show notes or whatever. But so the idea of having a visionary and a integrator or implementer is kind of the nice cyclical, excuse me, this beer is right. getting the burp. The cyclical wheel of vision, strategy, and then implementation. And an agency is not an easy business, especially being client services. You've got to be selling, you got to be marketing, and then you've got to implement. And Rich at the time was hunting for digital. Now I don't want to kind of cut off the punchline. Why were you looking at digital marketing at the time?
So I felt like that was sort of the way to go. I mean, without sounding too cliche, I had in my mind like doing a local kind of brick and mortar was kind of like a sunset or dinosaur business, and I wanted something that was like super scalable. I'm also quite introverted by nature, as you guys probably see. So I'm just like, I'm like, oh, how can I like geek out behind the computer and like not see humans? But I mean, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, and I saw an interesting opportunity where, like, not only do we become friends, but we're also in multiple self-development kind of lanes. There's a men's group that we're part of. And basically around October-ish, we just decided to take the leap and say, fuck it, let's rip it. I'll take the kind of visionary strategy. He'll kind of take not the ops side, but the integrator side. And there's kind of a key point there that an integrator's job is not to do the work. It's just to facilitate that the work
gets done, and then focus on the systems and kind of bring the problems of the system so that both of us can then strategize to kind of grow it. And so anyways, here we are. It's end of February. Yeah. Moved into what is now our new office, which is a kind of penthouse-ish loft downtown. High ceilings. Yeah, definitely high ceilings. We'll do a walkthrough another day. Yeah, figured it's kind of time for me to shoot content and kind of bring you guys up to speed on just like the day-to-day, what it's taking to build a business. We don't really have anything for sale. Like, I'm not going to close you on how to build a zillion-dollar agency course yet. No, but all kidding aside, I think it's important for you guys to see this. I know a lot of subscribers are looking for the more behind-the-scenes real type shit. Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at there. We got some other notes here. Let me just take a quick peek. So moving to a new place. Yeah, so just from a business standpoint, kind of what we've been working on lately is like really a core mission, a core vision and values, and really instilling that into the company so that the staff that we hire or people that we bring on are inspired more than just, oh, we're here to make money. Because again, I'm not a very transactional type of guy. I don't really want to sell widgets. And when you create something that has a larger mission and vision than yourself, that's what attracts people into your life. And like even today we had a meeting. Randomly, I put out a piece of content yesterday, and out of the blue, I won't mention who it is, but he was an still is a commercial real estate agent who was hyper successful, and out of the blue called me. He's like, hey, can we hang out? I feel like we're on the same wavelength. And it's like, if you can embody that mission and vision through your content or your company, you're just going to attract those type of people. And again, for me, I'm such a proponent of pull marketing, right? Where it's not about chasing people or selling them. It's about creating a beacon, attracting them, but that also comes down to staff as well. It's funny that you mentioned that, because that's how I actually met my other business partner the first time. Yeah. Reconnect with him is, I was kind of, kind of going through another phase, and he was putting out a lot of gratitude content. And personally myself, I was like, why the heck is this guy so bloody happy? Yeah, all the time? Yeah. Like, why are you so fucking grateful all the time? But I reached out to him. I'm like, hey man, like, I've just been seeing some of your gratitude posts lately. I'm just curious, like, let's talk about, doing a suit. He was in custom suits at the time, and personal development, right? Like two things that he was very vocal about. And we hit it off, and we're business partners today. Yeah, crazy. Yeah. And so it's not like we've got ours sorted quite yet. We've kind of got it closer, but one of the struggles is sort of niching down and getting a very clear mission and vision. We're excellent at what we do from a technical standpoint. But yeah, just trying to build a culture that's larger than just, hey, we're here to do SEO or paid ads for money. That's really not it. Other struggles are the SOPs and scalability. I don't know if you want to maybe talk a little bit about that. Yeah, I think one of the biggest conversations that I've been having with myself is, if we're talking about like the sort of the cash flow quadrants, it's interesting because starting up the custom suiting business, I kind of went through all the quadrants, like the E quadrant being an employee, being on sales calls every day, and like, you got to sell suits, to the S quadrant where it's like, okay, now there's a little bit less micromanagement, but we're still very much in the trenches doing all the things. And I think one of the sort of the most interesting, I guess, serendipitous parts of meeting D1 is like, now I'm making, in my mind, the leap from S to B, or at least putting those frameworks in my mind, where it's like, how do I get from an S quadrant, a self-employed person, to become a business, right? So again, a huge part of that is building the systems, building the SOPs, making sure that, you know, the business is scalable, right?
Yeah, and I met a hedge fund owner randomly through kind of our social circle, and he gave me just a nugget of information. It was like, our job is to own an asset at a profit. And it completely transformed the way I've been looking at business, because a lot of us, especially as internet marketers, or you're an agency owner, or you're a course creator, or YouTube, whatever you want to call it, if we get hit by the bus, the business is like, we're screwed. But the job is not to run an agency; it's to own an agency, and or create an asset like a digital product or a physical product. And specifically in the agency world, especially client services, productizing it. So again, we're a business owner where the team is taking care of it versus us. Is that kind of tough leap? And I don't know if there's any other agency owners watching, but once you get to that kind of like 10 websites, 15 websites, like bandwidth is our biggest issue right now.
Yeah.
And trying to figure out that kind of, how do we line it up that we can serve clients, wow them, and have bandwidth to scale to whatever it is, like $1 million a month or whatever that looks like. So don't have it figured out yet. We've got great mentors and we're kind of banging through it. But yeah, that S to B conversation is the tough one. It's being a business owner, not an operator, and owning a job basically.
Yeah. I think it also framed for me very much more empowering context about being an entrepreneur. Because for me, I had this odd context of like, oh, being an entrepreneur essentially, or doing anything in life, is like starting up this treadmill and running on it.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, I don't want to keep running on this treadmill for the rest of my life. Like, I like, you know, don't get me wrong, I like suits, I like whatever, XYZ, but it's like, am I going to like just run on this treadmill until I'm dead? And moving to that business framework, building a machine that can eventually, you know, run on the treadmill for you, if you will, was a lot more empowering context. It was like, we're setting out to build a machine to do a thing. We're not going to set out to do a thing for the rest of our lives.
And there's the other side of the coin, like, and this is something that I've struggled with, which is, I'm going to build a thing so I never have to work again. It is such a bullshit kind of loop. Really, the mentality is we're building something that's infinitely scalable so that we can create more value. Like, at our capacity right now, if we were running full tilt, we could maybe serve 20 clients. But what happens if we want to serve 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 people? It's just not realistic right now with the current setup. So a lot of these questions, again, come down to, like, can we build something at scale so that we can step away to keep serving larger and larger? And whatever, we'll get there. And that's part of documenting this. So that's kind of that. What else we got here? Some client wins.
Learning lessons, mistakes.
Learning lessons, mistakes. Learning lessons. Go check out my last video. Holy shit.
Link below.
Yeah, link below or link ahead.
Yeah.
Focusing on success versus fulfillment. This has been a pretty rough couple months for me, just like personally, and you know, restructuring the business. And the thing is, with your business, it's like a mirror of yourself too. And making sure that you're not chasing for the sake of...
Making sure I'm not chasing.
Making sure I'm not... Making sure...
My business.
Yeah, making sure that I'm not chasing success just for the validation of other people, but building something that truly fulfills me, and then scaling that and impacting in that way. The end result could be the same. Like, in order for us to do $1 million a month worth of business, the amount of people that we have to impact, the amount of value that we create in the world has to be massive. But I need to come from it from that line, versus, I'm going to build $1 million business, $1 million a month business that will then make me feel worthy, and then I'll feel fulfilled. So it's just been an interesting sort of reshift. And I don't know if we'll talk about our pivot quite yet.
Keep it under wraps.
Yeah, we'll keep it under wraps for now. Narrowing down the niche. My cat is jumping off the top of the roof here. I don't know what he's doing. Narrowing down the niche has been kind of the core topic right now. So as we unpack that, we'll definitely let it out. But yeah, that's kind of really it. I think there are other mistakes is we still haven't hired enough. Yeah,
and like for me, my last little accountability sprint, if you will, my newest accountability is productive hours in a day, measuring my own productivity. and figuring out what the most, like, I guess the highest value things I could be doing each day. I mean, even like when you think back to it in terms of productive hours, like even when I was in the bank, like or any kind of salaried job, like our productive hours are actually really low for an 8-hour day if you think about it. People are like, oh, like you work a 9 to 5, like you're, you know, we're not productive all 8 hours of it, right? Like I think at most, even at the bank, most people are productive maybe 3-4 hours of the day. A lot of the time is eaten up doing sort of menial tasks, water cooler chat, getting coffee, you know, meetings this, meetings that. So I think just being in integrity with myself to crank out, I mean, for me, my target right now is to do at least 6 hours of productive work a day. And just keeping myself accountable for that. You know, it's not my accountability to D1, it's not my accountability to, you know, XYZ. It's just for myself, knowing that I can pump out 6 good hours a day.
And messing you up? Yeah.
Yeah. Just go for 6, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, my next target is going to be 8 a day.
Yeah, and this also gets back to the gut check for me as kind of in the sales and strategy to make sure that the time that I'm spending isn't just whining and dining and, you know, focusing on, like, are we actually selling here? And again, I really enjoy the pull marketing thing. I think as we unpack this and you guys see kind of the progression of the company and pulling people in through content, it'll be exciting. But we haven't narrowed our product to something that is hyper productized yet, and that's why it's been difficult to kind of position, like, who is our absolute perfect avatar, what is their perfect problem path, and then what is the kind of solution. And the funny thing is, this is what we ultimately do for our clients, and I'm such a weapon at doing it for everybody else, but when we're positioning our own business, it's been interesting for me to almost have to consult myself. And yeah, so it'll be an interesting ride. But yeah, other than that, I think we'll wrap it up. I don't even know how many minutes we're at right now. I figured we just do the introduction.
Yeah.
If you're a local entrepreneur here in Vancouver, let's link up. I don't know, hit me up via Instagram. I'm fairly active there. We'll put kind of the shit below or above or in the corner. Now that we've got the workspace, we're going to have a lot more people kind of flowing through here through the day. And I'm going to try to behave myself during the night for the most part. But yeah, it's going to be exciting, guys. I'm stoked to be putting out content again. You'll be seeing much more of Reg. Also, let us know what you guys want to learn about. There'll be a lot more how-to videos. I'm just going to start pounding out how-to internet marketing videos, basically just for traffic to the YouTube channel to start building that back up. I've got a Mecca coming next week. He's going to be hanging out here. We'll definitely have a video or two filmed. Some affiliate marketing stuff and the rest of it. But overall, just be glad to be back on YouTube.
Yeah, I think in closing, just touching back on what D1 was saying, we're really looking to build a community here in Vancouver. Kind of that sort of old cliche, like if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah.
And definitely looking for a bunch of running mates and just kind of cool people to hang out with and to, you know, run life with.
Yeah, and we're starting to find, especially in our social circle, there are a lot of guys individually running, but not a monster community. And thanks to kind of previous mentors or like friends that I've run into, it's just starting to build. So yeah, should be a ton of fun, guys. We're gonna head out, and I'm gonna have another soda. Club soda. Peace. Done.
We're also not drinking.
I'm not drinking.
We're not drinking.
I'm not drinking. Done. Easy.